What's up, everyone? Welcome to Tam Psych Advice. I'm Tamara, and today I want you to just throw introvert and extrovert out the window when it comes to your Myers-Briggs type. Shatter it like glass. The letter assigned to your MBTI type just doesn't work half the time, and it's the thing that causes most people who mistype to mistype. I'll explain more in a minute. Is there a slight chance you could have introvert-extrovert confusion? I guess that at least 50 to 60% of people do. Let's face it, everyone's an introvert in this world. Even people who have never heard of Myers-Briggs claim to be introverted. Introversion is rare. Approximately 25% of Americans are. If you are an introvert, consider yourself lucky because it is the cool thing these days. I remember going to a big meeting with someone who claimed to be an introvert. Everyone knew him and he knew everyone. He joked, laughed, played, and got stopped by so many people. It was difficult for us to even get to our seat without someone stopping him. How can you be that popular and claim that you're not good with people and you're all over the place laughing with them, joking with them? This ENTJ soaked up the room. I decided to make this video when I was watching a guy YouTuber, an ESFP, someone whom I assume knows nothing about MBTI, claim to be the biggest introvert on the planet. I laughed. "I'm such a loner," he went on to say. "I'm just learning how to be an extrovert," he claimed. What? I thought. His profile clearly fits an ESFP, and yet he thinks he's an introvert. Introversion is what he relates to. I can't argue with what he feels inside. By the same token, there are many introverts who feel very extroverted inside, and it's just the truth. There's no argument for how you feel and how you relate to people, and that's why there is an issue and a problem with the E and the I on the Myers-Briggs type. It's important because it changes the whole description, but still, I don't think it defines how extroverted or introverted someone is. In fact, if you knew nothing about MBTI, you'd swear it was true about someone, how they relate to people. I think introvert and extrovert is the easiest concept to understand, and yet it is totally misunderstood and can cause someone to choose the wrong MBTI type. Having an E or an I added to one's MBTI changes the entire picture and description of who that person is. If having the I or E on the personality type wasn't important, we could have 8 types instead of 16 and simply say there's an introverted and extroverted version of each type. But if you notice, we never do that. We never say, for example, that an STJ is either an extroverted STJ type or an introverted ST type, because one thing changes the entire personality type. We must think of introversion and extroversion on a scale of 1 to 60, which means that just because your MBTI type has an I in front of it doesn't mean you don't get energized from being around people. It doesn't mean that you don't crave being around people and get energized when you're around people. It doesn't mean you're not a people lover. I could write a sentence telling you what each MBTI letter means, but if you notice, when an ENFJ is described, they rarely simply list what each letter represents. They give a full description instead that gives a whole picture of what that type looks like. Otherwise, everybody's would look exactly the same. Intuitive, you see the possibilities. Thinker, it would just tell you what each one is. I've done 150 videos on ENFJs. If being an extrovert was simply the thing that ENFJ was about, there's no way I could create that much content. There's so many more concepts that influences how extroverted or introverted a person is. your family background, the people that you have been around, what is your love language, what's your Enneagram type. There's so many things that determine how much you like to be around people or how much you want to retreat. Now, that doesn't mean that we should disregard introvert and extroverted altogether. We still have to use that, and a lot of people, it fits them to a T, but then there's that group that it just creates confusion. For example, my mother recently told someone that she just cracked a big code about me. She said, "Tamara's an introvert." I relate very well to that statement. I actually laughed, but she didn't want me to know because she didn't want me to get mad. Because people get angry when you say something about their MBTI type that they feel is not true. Because even though I'm an ENFJ, I grew up in an all introverted household. So I'm used to having time to myself to think and use my imagination. I feel drained when I've been around too many people because that's not how I grew up. Although my MBTI is an extroverted type, I feel very much like an introvert. That's why I didn't go haywire and feel like acting out with the pandemic restrictions. I have a ton of introverted energy. I just happen to be an extroverted MBTI type. I also feel very intrigued by INFJs. Sometimes I wish I could be an INFJ. But knowing that I have a lot more probably introverted energy than I do extroverted, I still know that isn't my MBTI type. So just curious, do you struggle at all with knowing if you're an extrovert or an introvert? Let us know why in the comments. And check out my book, Flip the Script on Love. It's all about finding the person of your dreams, whether you're extroverted or introverted. I think this book will help you deeply to understand yourself better, to heal, to make great connections, and to be in a relationship that you've always dreamed of. So give it a try. It's by Tamara Hunter Zyon on Amazon, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.